Alright guys, it's time to talk about a little bit of crypto news here before we jump into the charts on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Bitget Token today. Now, we did have some good news earlier where the SEC was going to dismiss their case against Coinbase. That's pretty good because basically Binance has a very similar case, so we're probably going to see that drop shortly. Just have to wait and see, guys. Now, after this, unfortunately, we had some pretty bad news. We did see that there was a Bybit hack, and the I guess the leader or director or whoever, whatever you want to call him from Bybit, announced that they were hacked. And you don't see the exact total here, but it's about 1.4 billion in funds, guys. So not good. I calculated it at the time, and Ethereum was hanging around, I think, 2,700 at the time. So it's probably somewhere about 515 to 520,000 Ethereum, guys. And if I held Ethereum, I would be a little bit, scared right now, because if they find a way to sell that Ethereum, Ethereum would drop probably instantly, like 10%. And just be careful if you hold any Ethereum. I mean, if everybody panics, of course, Ethereum's going to zero. But I do think that they will track this Ethereum for a long time, or until they can maybe try to somehow get it back. It's possible, but it's probably a very slim chance. So let's see what happens, guys. Now, we did have a little bit of other news in connection with this, and I'm not sure why the Bybit hacker said that they're going to sell ETH above 8888. I'm not sure why that number is, really relevant. But then there was another piece of news here, and it was apparently the North Korea Lazarus group behind the Bybit hack. So it's not just one hacker. It's the, North Korean Lazarus group, which they were responsible for the Harmony One attack. I think they stole about $100 million in Harmony One token. This was about 3 years ago or so. But anyways, guys, let's see what happens now. There's a lot of other exchanges that are standing behind Bybit. Actually, KuCoin sent out an email that they stand behind them. I think even Binance has already said something. But yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to let Bybit fail, because if Bybit fails, it's one of the biggest exchanges, guys. That's almost like FTX going down. And I have some funds in Bybit myself. Not too much, but I'm not that worried, honestly, about this. So let's just hope, it stays solvent. And yeah, let's jump into the chart real quick on Ethereum too, guys. Since it's the topic of the day, we'll jump into it before we jump into Bitget Token. But there still is this little inverse head and shoulders, which is pretty much intact still, even with this giant, candle. It's not really giant, but it's this was kind of a giant candle. But this candle cascading to the downside, it still looks like it has, some pressure to the downside. I mean, it's almost at the bottom. There's a tiny wick here, but yeah, I'm hoping my line saves it if it gets that low, guys. But hopefully we've seen pretty much the end of this dump, but we just never know. I mean, this is on the daily time frame. Let's look at the 4 hour. Now the 4 hour is okay. It's slowing down a little bit here. So let's see what happens. Now let me put it on an hour. Yeah, we may round ourselves out, and it may take a while, guys. But let's see, Now, I want to go back to Bitcoin just real quick, because, yeah, we were actually getting up to almost $100,000, as you can see. And I think it was around this candle that we got this news, guys. So, yeah, we cascaded to the downside, got a big bounce, got rejected pretty much by this weekly, at the time it was resistance, but it was support, for a little bit. But yeah, this is the 15-minute time frame. And anyways, we got rejected, came down. Now it looks like we're trying to hang on to 95,170. We were below that, as you see. And if I zoom in, yeah, I mean, we're trying to get back above it right now. Now, keep in mind, this is really the wrong time frame to look at it because this is a weekly resistance and support. So, you know, but the longer the candle that's sealed above this line, the better. So let's see what happens if we can hang on to 95.170. But for now, if we put this on a daily time frame, yeah, wow, it's actually respecting both lines pretty well. So we may be able to maintain what 95.170, and let's just hope so, you know. Now I want to go back to the Bitget token here. Now let me expand this. Now this, you know, chart doesn't really fit very well in my apparatus, so I'm going to have to go in and out a little bit. So be patient, be calm here. Now looking at my chart, guys, Bitget token actually had a fairly good day today. You know, it did have a wick up here to about 490. Now this is where you have a weekly resistance. So, and yesterday, technically, we did lose this line right here at $4.54. And we did, you know, get ourselves back above it today. Now, I also had to redo this chart a little bit because I have a new PC. And so I remember that I did have this line, I think around $4.51. If you go back into some of the videos, now, these charts, you know, they're within a few cents or so probably. So I don't think there's much difference. But okay, we could probably readjust this and put it at about $4.51 and say, yeah, it held on to support. But hey, it doesn't matter. A penny here, 2 pennies, 3 pennies, whatever. We need to hang on to this support though. Whatever we do, this $4.54, 55, 51, we need to hang on to it. You know, we really need to push above 490. I'm really worried about Bitget token because this has really fallen very far and very quickly. So yeah, you can see we're starting to break the structure a little bit. And basically this little consolidation period is what's holding us up, and that is not a lot of consolidation, guys. Unfortunately, that's, you know, that's what, not even a week of consolidation. I think it's like, okay, let's count this 1, 2, 3. This is barely a consolidation in between these two lines, but 4, 5, and then it, you know, pumps out. So yeah, we can say it's what, maybe like 5 or 6 days of consolidation here. So that's not going to be a lot of support. That's why, you know, this is an orange line and these are daily supports and resistances, and my green lines are weekly. They're stronger. So there really isn't much support, guys, all the way until about $1.60. So that's kind of scary when you look at this. Yeah, $1.60, $1.37. That's your major support. And yeah, so we really need to get above, you know, 490. After that, guys, we need to start working our way back up, you know, to $6. $6 I felt comfortable with, but yeah, I mean, unfortunately we lost that. And if I would have looked at this chart, you know, sooner on Saturday, or even I think it was, yeah, it was Saturday actually. It was my daughter's dance competition. I would have sold after we broke $6 level here, but I didn't really look at it. Didn't have time. I didn't have my charts right in front of me. And when I got home and looked at it after the dance competition, you know, I decided to sell. You know, even though it was a little bit late and a little bit risky, you know, the risk actually played out in my favor, and I ended up getting about 70 BGB. You know, more just because I sold. Now, I could have had a lot more. I bought back maybe a little bit too early, but I would rather have my BGB than be without. You know, I trust that this token will still do well. I do think Bitget is an excellent exchange. I don't think they've been hacked either, so that's another good thing. You may start to see people come into Bitget and start to buy their token as well, just because of the Bybit hack. So maybe this will benefit Bitget, the exchange itself. So let's just see. Now let's take a look at a few more things here on the channel before I close this video. Basically, the dominance is raging again. So that is not good. My line isn't really holding this down at the moment. And yeah, it did get a bounce here again off 61.05. So let's see where this ends up tonight. We really need to go down with dominance. But, either way, as long as we stay below this little, hump here, basically, it would just be another, lower high. So let's see what happens with this candle. I hope it doesn't go too high. I hope we don't have one of these types of days where it just kind of spikes up, a few percent and so quickly. But yeah, just have to wait and see. Nothing I can do. Now, if we look at the liquidation heat maps, there is quite a few people getting liquidated right now, and that's because of all this, crap with Bybit. So yeah, it's basically almost 50-50. A little bit more longs are getting wrecked than shorts, unfortunately, but yeah, that's the way it is. Now let's take a look at the quarterly returns. Ethereum getting hammered again. Bitcoin only just barely below 2% here on the quarter. Now February is not looking so good once again. We are down almost 7%, and earlier I think we were down like 2 or 3%. So it was getting better, but then this hack happened, guys. Now, the fear and greed 55 right now, we did go up quite a bit. We went up 6 points, and that's just a little bit too quickly in my opinion. I would like to see 1-2 points a day, not 6. Now we are back in greed, so that isn't good either. So I do think people will be a little bit more fearful now. We'll see this go down in the next 2 hours and 15 minutes just because of this hack, and it may go way down. So yeah, I mean, this is the crypto market. This isn't Bitcoin or specific to any other crypto like Ethereum or anything. This is the whole crypto market. So I think this hack will scare, people just a little bit. Now, altcoin season index, guys, was a little bit higher today. Now in the morning, it was actually 33 like it is now. Then it went up to, I think, 35 when I looked at it again, and then it got up to 37 a little bit later. But then all this crap happened, so we're back to 33. That's bad to see, in my opinion. Now, bull market peak indicators, again, 0 from 30 have been hit. Even if 1 or 2 had been hit, then we might start to be able to think about selling, but it hasn't hit, guys. Pi cycle top indicator, I can show you this. We are still, far away from crossing. If I zoom in, you'll see. So we were closer, like I always say, in June than we are right now still. Now, today we actually got some numbers, and let me just kind of do this. Okay, so we did get PMI numbers today. We did get Michigan numbers. Michigan came in the same. It was a recalculation, basically, of February. So it was kind of negative numbers. According to Moodyx, and I don't have that right now. I do. This is from yesterday, guys. But Moodyx measured this, I think, at minus 12, plus minus, a few points there. So, yeah, not good news. So Michigan probably hurt us as well today. Now, taking a look at crypto bubbles, most things are in red. BGB, of course, in green today. A few projects, ENA, virtual, okay, those are in, green, and a couple of others, guys. But most things are not down too badly. So, okay, a few of these had excellent days before, like IP, this is new, So, yeah, I could expect a little worse, actually. But let's see what happens through the weekend. Maybe we'll pull back a little bit more, but I do think we will regain some of this when the market calms down. Now, if you want to stake your coins, guys, go to Coinondo. You can look for whatever you want, like Harmony. I was looking for that earlier today. Just be aware of the limits and the days that you have to stake everything, guys. Do your homework before you put coins anywhere. So, if you like this video, guys, like, subscribe, activate the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.